Om Shri Sainathaya Namaha. Chapter 33. Greatness of Udi. Scorpion sting and plague cases cured. Jamner miracle. Narayan Rao's sickness. Balabua Sutar. Appa Sahib Kulkarni. Haribhav Karnik. In the last chapter, we described the greatness of the Guru. Now in this, we will describe the greatness of Udi. Preliminary. Let us bow now before the great saints. Their merciful glances will destroy mountains of sins and do away with all the evil taints of our character. Their casual talk gives us good teachings and confers on us imperishable happiness. Their minds do not know any difference, such as this is ours and that is yours. Such differentiation never arises in their minds. Their obligations will never be repaid by us in this birth as well as in many future births. Udi. It is well known that Baba took dakshina from all and out of the amount thus collected. He spent on charity and purchased fuel. This fuel he put in the dhoni, the sacred fire, which he kept ever burning. The ash from this fire was called Udi, and it was freely distributed to the devotees at the time of their departure from Shirdi. What did Baba teach by this Udi? Baba taught by this Udi that all the visible phenomena in the universe are as transient as the ash. Our bodies composed of matter of the 5 elements will fall down after all their enjoyments are over and be reduced to ashes. In order to remind the devotees of the fact that their bodies will be reduced to ashes, Baba distributed Udi to them. Baba also taught by the Udi that the Brahma is the only reality and the universe is ephemeral, and that no one in this world, be he a son, father or wife, is really ours. We come here in this world alone, and we have to go from here alone. It has been found that the Udi cured many physical and mental maladies, but Baba wanted to repeat into the devotees' ears the principles of discrimination between the unreal and the real. He taught non-attachment for the unreal by his Udi and Dakshina. The former means Udi taught us discrimination, and the latter means Dakshina taught us non-attachment. Unless we have these two things, it is not possible for us to cross over the sea of the mundane existence. So Baba asked for dakshina, and while the devotees took leave, he gave Udi as prasad, besmeared some of it on their foreheads, and placed his boon-conferring hand on them. When Baba was in cheerful mood, he used to sing merrily. One such song was about Udi. The meaning of this song was, "O playful Ram, come and bring with you sacks of Udi. रमते राम आओ जी, उदिया की गोनियां लाओ जी। रमते राम आओ जी, उदिया की गोनियां लाओ जी." Baba used to sing in very clear and tender tones. So, besides the spiritual implication of Udi, it had also its material significance. It conferred health, prosperity, freedom from anxiety, and many other worldly gains. So, the Udi has helped us to gain both our ends, material as well as spiritual. We shall now begin with the stories about the Udi. Narayan Motiram Jani of Nasik was a devotee of Baba. He was serving under another devotee of Baba by name Ramchandra Vaman Modak. Once he went to Shirdi with his mother and saw Baba. Then Baba himself told her that her son should serve no more but start independent business. Some days after this prophecy turned true, Narayan Jani left service and started a boarding house, Anandashram, which thrived well. Once a friend of this Narayan Rao was stung by a scorpion, and the pain caused by it was severe and unbearable. Udi is most efficacious in such cases. It is to be applied on the seat of pain. And so Narayan Rao searched for it, but found none. Then he stood before Baba's picture and invoked Baba's aid, chanted Baba's name, and taking out a pinch of the ashes of the jaw stick burning in front of Baba's picture, and thinking it to be Baba's Udi, applied it on the seat of pain and the sting. As soon as he took out his fingers, the pain vanished, and both the person were moved and felt delighted. Bubonic plague case. Once a devotee in Bandra came to know that his daughter, who was staying in another place, was down with bubonic plague. He had no Udi with him, so he sent word to Nana Sahib Chandorkar to send the same. Nana Sahib got this message on a road near the Thana railway station when he was travelling with his wife to Kalyan. He had no Udi with him at that time. He therefore took up some earth from the road, meditated upon Sai Baba, invoked his aid and applied it on the forehead of his wife. The devotee saw all this, and when he went to his daughter's house, he was very glad to learn that his daughter, who was suffering for 3 days, began to improve from the very moment Nana Sahib invoked Baba's aid near the Thana railway station. The Jamner Miracle. About 1904 to 5, Nana Sahib Chandorkar was Mamlatdar at Jamner in the Khandesh district, which is more than 100 miles distant from Shirdi. His daughter Mainatai was pregnant and was about to deliver. The case was very serious, and she was suffering from labor pains for the last 2 or 3 days. Nana Sahib tried all remedies, but they proved in vain. He then remembered Baba and invoked his aid. There in Shirdi, one Ramgir Bua, whom Baba called Bapugir Bua, wanted at this time to go to his native place in Khandesh. Baba called him and told him to take a little rest and stop at Jamner on his way home and give the Udi and Aarti to Nana Sahib. Ramgir Bua said that he had only 2 rupees with him, and that amount was barely sufficient for the railway fare up to Jalgaon, and it was not possible for him to go from Jalgaon to Jamner, a distance of about 30 miles. Baba assured him that he need not worry, as everything would be provided for him. Then Baba asked Shama to write the well-known Aarti composed by Madhav Adkar. A translation of this is given at the end of this work, and give a copy of it with Udi to Ramgir Bua to be delivered to Nana Sahib. Then, relying on Baba's words, Ramgir Bua left Shirdi and reached Jalgaon at about 2:45 a.m. He had only 2 annas left with him. To his great relief, he heard somebody calling out, "Who is Bapugir Bua from Shirdi?" He went to him and told him that he was the person Bapugir Bua. Then the peon, professing to be sent by Nana Sahib, took him out to an excellent tonga with a good pair of horses. They both drove in it. The tonga ran fast, and early in the morning they came to a brooklet. The drive took the horses for watering them, and the peon asked Ramgir Bua to partake of some eatables. On seeing the beard, moustache, and the livery of the peon, Ramgir Bua suspected him to be a Muslim and was unwilling to take any refreshments from him. But the peon satisfied him by saying that he was a Hindu, a Kshatriya of Garhwal, and that Nana Sahib had sent these refreshments, and that there should be no difficulty nor any doubt about acceptance. Then both of them took the refreshments and started again. They reached Jamner at dawn. Ramgir Bua alighted to attend a call of nature, means passing urine, and returned within a few minutes, but found that there was no tonga, no driver, and no peon. He was dumbfounded. Then he went to the neighboring kacheri and, making enquiries, learned that the Mamlatdar was at home, he went to Nana Sahib's house and announced himself and gave to Nana Sahib Baba's Udi and Aarti. At this time, Mainatai's case was most serious and all were in deep anxiety about her. Nana Sahib called out his wife and asked her to give the Udi mixed with the water to their daughter to drink and sing Baba's Aarti. In a few minutes came the news that the delivery was safe and that the crisis had passed away. When Ramgir Bua thanked Nana Sahib for the peon, tonga and the refreshment etc., the latter was greatly surprised as he had sent none to the station and was not aware of any person coming from Shirdi. Mr. B.V. Dev of Thana, retired Mamlatdar, made enquiries about this matter with Bapurao Chandorkar, son of Nana Sahib and Ramgir Bua of Shirdi, and after satisfying himself, wrote an elaborate article, part prose and part poetry, in Sri Sai Leela magazine. Brother B.V. Narasimha Swami has also taken down the statements of Mainatai, Bapu Sahib Chandorkar, Ramgir Bua, dated 1st June 1936, 16th September 1936 and 1st December 1936, respectively, and published them in his Devotees' Experiences, Part 3. The following is quoted from Ramgir Bua's statement. One day, Baba called me to him and gave me a packet of Udi and a copy of Baba's Aarti. I had to go to Khandesh at that time. Baba directed me to go to Jamner and told me to deliver the Aarti and Udi to Nana Sahib Chandorkar. I said to Baba that all I had was ₹2 and asked him how that could take me by train from Kopargaon to Jalgaon and next by cart from Jalgaon to Jamner. Baba said, God will give. That was Friday, and I started at once. I reached Manmar at 7:30 p.m. and Jalgaon at 2:45 a.m. At that time, plague regulations were enforced and I had much trouble. I was to discover what I should do to get to Jamner. At about 3 a.m., a peon in boots, turban and well equipped with other details of good dress came to me and took me to a tonga and drove me on. I was in terror. On the way at Bhagur, I took refreshments. We reached Jamner early in the morning, and by the time I attended my call of nature, the tonga and its driver had disappeared. Narayan Rao. Bhakt Narayan Rao, father's name and surname are not given, had the good fortune to see Baba twice during the latter's lifetime. 3 years after the passing away of Baba in 1918, he wanted to come to Shirdi, but he could not come. Within a year of Baba's Mahasamadhi, he fell sick and suffered much. All ordinary remedies gave him no relief, so he meditated on Baba day and night. One night, he had a vision in his dream. Baba coming to him through a cellar, comforted him saying, Don't be anxious. You will be improving from tomorrow, and within a week, you will be on your legs. Narayan Rao got perfectly well within the time indicated in the vision. Now the point for consideration in this, was Baba living because he had the body, and was he dead because he left it? No, Baba is ever alive, for he transcends both life and death. He who loved him once wholeheartedly gets response from him at any time and at any place. He is always by our side and will take any form and appear before the devout bhakta and satisfy him. Appa Sahib Kulkarni. In 1917, the chance of one Appa Sahib Kulkarni came. He was transferred to Thana and began to worship Baba's picture presented to him by Bala Sahib Bhate. In real earnest, he did the worship. He offered flowers, sandal paste and naivedya daily to Baba in the picture and longed intently to see him. In this connection, it may be remarked that seeing Baba's picture earnestly is equivalent to seeing him in person. The following story illustrates this statement. Bala Bua Sutar. A saint of Bombay named Bala Bua Sutar, who on account of his deity, devotion and bhajan was called Modern Tukaram, came to Shirdi for the first time in 1917. When he bowed before Baba, the latter said, "I know this man since 4 years." Balabua wondered and thought, how could that be, as that was his first trip to Shirdi. But thinking about it seriously, he recollected that he had prostrated himself 4 years ago before Baba's portrait at Bombay and was convinced about the significance of Baba's words. He said to himself, "How omniscient and all-pervading are the saints, and how kind are they to their bhaktas. I merely bowed to his photo. This fact was noticed by Baba, and in due time he made me realize that seeing his photo is equivalent to seeing him in person." Appa Sahib Kulkarni. To return to Appa Sahib's story, while he was in Thana, he had to go on tour to Bhivandi and was expected to return after a week. In his absence, the following wonderful thing took place on the third day. At noon, a fakir turned up at Appa Sahib's house. His features resembled exactly those of Baba's photo. Mrs. Kulkarni and the children all asked him whether he was Sai Baba of Shirdi. He said, "No," but that he was an obedient servant of his and came there at his order to enquire after the well-being of the family. Then he asked for dakshina. The lady gave him a rupee. He gave her a small packet of udi and asked her to keep this in the shrine along with the photo for worship. Then he left the house and went away. Now hear the wonderful Leela of Sai. Appa Sahib could not proceed with his tour as his horse fell sick at Bhivandi. He returned home that afternoon and learned from his wife about Fakir's visit. He smarted in his mind as he did not get the darshan of the Fakir, and he did not like that only 1 rupee was paid as dakshina. He thought he had been present, he would have offered not less than rupees 10. Then he immediately started in quest of the Fakir and searched for him in the masjid and the other places without taking any food. His search was in vain. He then returned home and took his food. The reader may remember here Baba's dictum in chapter 32 that God's quest should not be made on an empty belly. Appa Sahib got a lesson here about this. Then after meals, he went out for a walk with a friend, Mr. Chitre. Going some distance, they saw a man approaching them rapidly. Appa Sahib thought that he must be the Fakir who came to his house at noon, as his features tallied with those of Baba in the photo. The Fakir immediately put forth his hand and asked for dakshina. Appa Sahib gave him a rupee. He demanded again and again, and so Appa Sahib gave him 2 more. Still he was not satisfied. Then he borrowed rupees 3 from Mr. Chitre and gave them to him. He wanted still more. Appa Sahib asked him to accompany him to his home. Then they all returned home, and Appa Sahib then gave him again 3 rupees, in all 9. He looked unsatisfied and demanded again. Then he told him that he had a currency of rupees 10. The Fakir asked for the same and took it and returned the 9 rupees in cash and went away. Appa Sahib had said that he would pay rupees 10 and that sum was taken from him and 9 rupees consecrated by Baba's touch were returned to him. The figure 9 is significant. It denotes the 9 types of devotion, Vide chapter 21. It may also be noted here that Baba gave 9 coins to one Lakshmibai Shinde at his last moment. Appa Sahib examined the udi packet and found that it contained some flowers, petals and akshat. Then some time afterwards, he got hair from Baba when he saw him at Shirdi. He put the udi packet and the hair in the talisman and always wore it on his arm. Appa Sahib realized the power of the udi. Though he was very clever, he got rupees 40 as pay in the beginning. But after he secured Baba's photo and his udi, and also got much power and influence, and along with this temporal benefits, his spiritual progress was also rapid. So, those who are fortunate enough to get Baba's udi should, after bath, apply it on the forehead and take some of it mixed with water as holy tirtha. Haribhau Karnik. In 1917, Haribhau Karnik of Dano, Thana district, came to Shirdi on the Guru Purnima day in the month of Ashad and worshipped Baba with all formality. He offered clothes and dakshina, and after taking Baba's leave, got down the steps of the masjid. Then he thought that he should offer one more rupee to Baba, and was just turning to get up when Shama informed him by signs that as he had got Baba's leave, he should go and not return. So he started home. On his way, when he went into the temple of Kalaram at Nasik for darshan, the saint Narsingh Maharaj, who used to sit just inside the big door of the temple, left his bhaktas there, came to Haribhau, caught his wrist and said, "Give me my 1 rupee." Karnik was surprised. He paid the rupee most willingly and thought that Sai Baba recovered the rupee which he intended in his mind to give through Saint Narsingh Maharaj. This story illustrates the fact that all saints are one and shows how they work in unison. Bow to Shri Sai. Peace be to all. Sai Natharpanamastu. Shubham Bhavatu. Sai Narayana Narayana. Hari Hari.